Alright guys, we are going to do a quick bench speed test. We're going to just see kind of what the pizza cutter tires look like. And the question today is a WL959B stock with the 540 brushed motor that much faster or slower than a 959B with a brushless upgraded motor, which would be 4300 kV. And let me get this top off of this guy here. We're gonna just kind of give you the difference between these and sort of how they feel and how everything's running. You're gonna kind of see how the tires bulge out. You're gonna get a sense of the speed. Again, it's obviously not in the field. Now this is the brushless upgrade, and I'll post it down below. What I've got here is a 60 amp ESC. I've got a Radiolink receiver with a gyro. I've got a JS servo here. This is a very small servo for these cars. I'll post the link down below. I use the JS servo arm here, and you just put a screw and screw it into the servo, and then use the existing ball nut from the WLtoys. And I've got the 4300 kV. And unfortunately, the way this lined up, I may want to reroute it, but I wanted the wires up high. It's right there. It's a B3650, which actually the pinion shaft on these needs to be the right size to actually run your stock pinion gear. So this is why you use the 3650 engine. And then you can see it right there. Let me see, 3650. And once you do that, this guy just bolts right in, and this is 4300 kV. All right, so let me start these guys up, or basically get them running. And we're gonna start with the WLtoys 959B. Now, I gotta say, I really love this car. I just got into these. They're a lot of fun. They have a lot of power. I mean, for the weight, for the size, for the price, I mean, they're really uncomparable to me. There are not many 1/18 scale buggies out there. So let's first, this is the stock control. Let's first look at the steering, okay? I'm gonna show you guys kind of the speed, okay? It's not bad, but I didn't realize that was not super fast until I did the upgrade. All right, let's do kind of the top speed, tire bulge test here, and I'm gonna hold this guy, and we're just gonna watch, okay? You gotta really hold it tight because it does have some power. All right. Okay, this is just a crack of the throttle. So right off idle, there definitely is a very fast acceleration, which tends to make it basically, jump and spin out. So there's not much of a delay. You can't adjust the start settings at all. So that also can affect sort of your offline stability. I've raced cars where, I know this thing is faster than, let's say, a Traxxas that's a $300 car. I know I could have beaten it, but I spun out and lost the race. Okay, so let's run this thing all the way through. Okay, this is just off idle or off throttle. This is about mid throttle. There's a little bit of tire bulge, and then full throttle. So take a look at the tire. A little bit. And I will say, this car is pretty much brand new, so I have not even taken it out, so it will get faster as the gears break in and things start to loosen up a bit. But that I know, because I've got another 959B. It's good for about 35 miles an hour, and honestly, it's pretty fast. I mean, it's uncontrollable at times with that actual setup, with the punch settings that come stock with it and everything else. Very hard to do and control it. Now, we're hoping this will be better. I have not taken this out yet. This has a gyro, which will actually affect the car if it starts to spin out of control. Let me show you. It's a really cool setup. That is the actual servo adjusting the steering to steer in the opposite direction if it starts to spin out. The other cool thing about this is I can adjust the gyro here. And if you guys are wondering, this is a Radiolink RC4GS controller. Now let's look at the steering and try to remember what you saw before. Now here we go. That's pretty fast. compared to the other one. All right, so we're good to go. The lights are on. Let me hold this thing. It is a little crazy. We don't want it flying off. Okay, here we go. This is off idle, or off, you know, throttle. It's a little jumpy, so we'll see how that plays out. Now here we go. Okay, that's about a fourth throttle right there, maybe 20% throttle. That's 50% throttle, which I think is about where the other car was. And now we're gonna go full throttle. Did you see that? Now the other thing I noticed when I go full throttle is this thing just starts kind of fishtailing in my hand. So we'll see how that plays out when we actually go driving around. You know, it's definitely a lot faster. I wanted to show everybody that because that was a big question I had when I was thinking about doing this. Was like, hey, you know, is it really going to be that much faster? Is it really worth it? If you like these cars and you enjoy them and you kind of like playing with them and throwing money into them, then it probably is worth it because you're going to get to really see kind of what could be with these things. You do need to upgrade the gearing to metal. You do need to work with all of that because these things will strip out those gears in a hurry, especially if you've got a brushless motor. Now I want to show you this guy. Now this is the regular 959B. This is not a 540 engine. This is not a brushless. This is, I think, a 380 or a 390. And if I could find a good battery, I want to show you kind of how this one goes. Now these are not slow. I mean, they're quick, they're fun, they stay very straight. They don't necessarily even spin out. They do pretty darn good. They're fun, but they're not going to be anything compared to the other ones, but they're pretty fast. So let's just, for comparison, if I can, okay, here's your steering. Now this, again, straight 959. Steering is exactly the same as the 959B because it's the same servo, essentially. All right, let's hold this girl and see how she does. Let me pull this wire back. Here we go. That's it. So there is no tire bulge. There's nothing going on there that really is like, oh my God, it's crazy fast. But do they still go quick? Will they still, you know, go probably 20, 28 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour? Oh yeah, they will. So we'll see how that goes when we compare it with the brushless. One other thing I want to say about the brushless is that what I've got running on the brushless is actually only, believe it or not, 3S LiPo. So I have not even, 2S LiPo, excuse me, 2S. So I have not even run 3S LiPo on this yet. And I haven't even run it out on the road. But I'm going to tell you, I think on 3S LiPo, I don't even know if this chassis and gearing and everything could hold up. But I'm probably going to try it out and just for fun, see what's going on. The other thing I really like about the upgrade is you get this really cool programming card, and maybe another video I'll show y'all how to kind of program these. A lot of your motors from Google RC and others have this program card. I do kind of recommend it because it does make a difference, and it lets you program these little motors and the ESC, I should say, and then that in turn controlling the output of the motor. And you can control different things like voltage cutoff, start modes, max braking force, max reverse force, and even the range at which you have neutral. So it's pretty cool. All right, y'all, we'll be hopefully testing this thing out soon, and I'll post the link descriptions down below of what I bought and what I did to actually put this together and make it brushless.